So my blood work was really the turning point. Like, that's what surprised me the most. My blood work wasn't bad when I got here. I came here to lose weight, but I lost 20% reduction in my triglycerides. My sugar went down 20%. My cholesterol went down 15%. There were things that we talked about in my blood work that improved that I didn't even know were an issue or would be an issue into the future. So now not only do I feel like I look better and I fit in my airplane seat a lot better, but I feel like my blood is pumping better and I'm a lot less hot than I was. I used to sweat all the time, and now people are like, why aren't you sweating? And I'm like, well, because I lost a little bit of weight, so I feel a lot better. So at the beginning of the program, you're coming off of eating your fast food, traveling a lot, and never being home for a meal, not preparing your meals. So I think the greatest aspect of this program for me was my 24-hour coach. I could send an email or a text through a system and get a response rather quickly. So I knew what foods were in my program. I knew what foods I could have. I knew what types of condiments I could use, and mustard was one of them, and I'm not a mustard fan, so I had to find another supplement. But that was an interesting piece of it. So it's not like you're being watched, it's like you're being coached. And that's the difference. I didn't feel like somebody was watching, checking my points, but they were encouraging me to do things a little bit differently. And when I was hungry, they encouraged me to eat, but told me how and when I should put that extra food into my system. I started the program on December 14th. I went through 1 week. I was on the road the entire week. I had the chili that was the recipe for the high protein, low fat chili. I had fish for dinner every night. And I didn't see my wife for a week because I was in Chicago. By the time I got home, I was a different person. I had already lost 15 pounds. I had 2 belt loops. I picked up 2 inches of belt loop on my pants. And when I walked through the door, she said, you're not the same person that left. And that was the first week. So do you want encouragement? You know how you go on a diet and you watch and you watch and you watch, and then you have a bad day, and all of a sudden you've picked up that 3 pounds that you just lost that week. That wasn't the way this system worked. This system began the weight loss process rapidly, and that's encouragement. So when you're as big as I am, you need that encouragement to keep going and going and going. And then once I finished the medical piece of the plan, the metabolism, it's acting at a high rate now. I can hardly keep the weight on now. Dr. Dubiak was great. He was very encouraging. He set the parameters. He coached me at the beginning, and he taught me that the blood system and the way you look at my blood work is different than anybody else is going to look at it. It's extremely comprehensive. And that's what gave me the biggest encouragement, because I'm not being treated as a pre-diabetic, which is what every doctor had ever always treated me, and they gave me this diet and I had to follow this diet, and it was really not going to help me lose weight, and it was very frustrating. But Dr. Dubiak was able to explain the comprehensive plan and say, this is why you're going to take this piece, or these supplements, this is why you're going to drink this shake, this is why you're going to do this. And so as he built that plan, and he built a plan for my wife as well, and it was different than mine, and it worked for her. So it's not just that my plan worked, it was that Dr. Dubiak was able to create a plan that was personalized to me, one for my wife, and they both worked. When I finished the program, I felt like when I walked in, everybody was like, who's that person? Where's the rest of you? Every time I went into a room, not only your staff, but it was so obvious that there was a change in my life, that there was a change in my lifestyle, that I was more active, that I'm more fit, that my clothes fit me differently. Again, I lost a small person weight-wise. And so when I got to the office, and when I came into the office and everybody high-fived me and said how wonderful I looked and asked me how I did it and if I was frustrated or where are the weaknesses or where can we learn, that was the piece. It was total 100% support from the time I walked in November and for my first piece of blood work till the time I left with my corrected blood work. So the education process around blood as well as diet was very interesting, because you think you know how to feed yourself. You think you know the types of foods that are going to help you create the most energy, not store the fat in your body. But as you go through the process, you learn why one piece of chicken might be different than another, and how it's prepared, and how easy it is to make a healthy choice. So it's a series of choices. So Monday morning you make a choice for breakfast. Monday afternoon you're making a choice for lunch. Monday night you're making a choice for dinner. And if you can stack those choices together, all of a sudden you're a different person at the end. I've recommended Advanced Integrative Medical to probably 50 people so far. Everybody says, what happened to you? Where is the rest of you? And the first thing I do is I zip them off your website, because I think that the work that you do from start to finish really changes people's lives. And it gives them the opportunity to have a plan that works for them. It's not a stamped out plan. You get time with Dr. Dubiak, you get time with a health coach, a nutrition coach, you get the materials printed out for you. Everything is prepared. The only thing you have to do is make good choices when you eat. I had unlimited access to the doctors at any time. We had 24/7, we have the health coach, we have an opportunity to email, to make phone calls, to talk to the health coach via text. So absolutely. New Year's Eve was a little bit tough. I wanted to know if I could have a tequila or not, so I texted the health coach and I got it back, no tequila. But